to do something which I sometimes do, which is to make breakfast for dinner. Aunt Jemima yummy pancake syrup. Now, this used to show a large African American woman chef, but because of the inherent racism of Americans' corporate culture, they decided to make it a white person or maybe no person at all. But I prefer it when it's a black person showing their incredible skill at making pancakes. So God bless you all.
So God bless you all. There's Ben Stein. You guys know Ben Stein, and he's really upset. He's upset about his damn syrup because when he makes his pancakes for breakfast, for dinner, then he has to pour some syrup on it. As you point out there, as he pointed out there, and he put on a suit and tie and everything just to sit in front of a camera and tell us about it. There's a reason why he does that, which I'm going to get to. But as he was ranting, I noticed a couple of things, though. Let's go to this first picture because he said they took off the name of Aunt Jemima off his syrup bottle and also her face. First image there, you guys. So what I noticed during that ridiculous rant was that first, Aunt Jemima, the name is still on that bottle that he's got, so I'm not sure what he's upset about. And number two, they got rid of the name Aunt Jemima and started switching it to a pearl milling company. Am I right? That was in 2021. So he's had that bottle of syrup there for a couple few years now. He's only gotten through half of it, so I'm not sure how often he uses it. And number two, zooming in even another way is that other smaller bottle on the bottom right there. That's got Aunt Jemima's face on it. No, still that previous picture. The bottle at the side that he's also used has Aunt Jemima's face on it. So again, I have no idea what this guy is bitching and complaining about. All the syrup in his house says Aunt Jemima, and it has her face on it. This image that we're seeing here is the old school version that he thinks no one else remembers because they have modified it. Because this is what it looked like when I was younger. I remember this bottle with Aunt Jemima and the cloth on her head looking like a servant because that's what they're hearkening back to. Let's look at this next image because this is what Ben Stein doesn't want you guys to remember Aunt Jemima was portrayed as they sold this syrup. Do we have that image? It says Pancake Days is happy days with music notes all around it. And this is the quote from Aunt Jemima that Ben Stein is longing for. Only with my magic recipe can you turn out these tender, delicious, jiffy quick pancakes that makes your family happy. It makes Ben Stein happy to see things like that. And he's like, I can't eat my pancakes at night unless I have racist overtones put on it and have an Aunt Jemima's face on it and maybe even a jingle. How about that? This is what I'm mad about. There's reasons why this is something he's barking about, Mondale. But first, your thoughts about why he's barking about this.
I mean, he's barking about it because he's a white man of a certain age who missed the idea that I can call black people the N word. And I don't care how people dress it up. There's nothing about Aunt Jemima that said chef. She was that picture, that archetype is not about chef. Aunt Jemima was a character based off of. Well, first of all, let's go back to history. Aunt and uncle, aunts, uncle is what they used to call older slaves during slavery. Had nothing to do with being a chef. They didn't pay them chef wages. They were enslaved black people, and we know that. So this is absolutely disgusting on so many levels. And I think it's something different going on in this video, brother. I think that bottle is he refused to throw that bottle away because it's the last bottle, and that's why he's mad. He got to get his new syrup and refill that old bottle. That's what's going on. That's why he still has that bottle. It is absolutely disgusting that we in 2023 don't understand the harm associated with this term ancient mama and where it came from. Actually, it really was, if you do the history on ancient mama, you will see that it was based off a character that used to have a picture in the back that had Uncle James Crow. Uncle James Crow. James is what's the short name for James? Jim.
Jim.
Crow. It's all of this is racist. And if you need your cert with racism, then you're saying more about yourself than them pancakes you love.
But he's still proud to say it. And that's my second point. Because people may say, yo, you show me that old ad, JR, you show me old Aunt Jemima bottles. That's not the case anymore. They even changed it to pearl milling and put an image of like some kind of building on it instead of Aunt Jemima. And suddenly I can't eat this anymore. That's maybe your argument, but it's one of those things that poisons society. And actually, it's one of the things that Ben Stein thinks is adding to society because he thinks this is the way we need to be. Let's take a look back from 2020. Here's a Mayor Barry Presgraves. He's the mayor of Luray, a town in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. And this is what he was tweeting out when he was talking about Biden potentially getting Kamala Harris to be his vice presidential pick. And he said Joe Biden has just announced Aunt Jemima as his VP pick. So I guess it's hearkening back, or maybe it's a good use for racists to use this as a slur against other folks. That's just the mayor of a town. There's other encounters that people may have. This one particular woman had an encounter with her doctor, a person she's supposed to trust with her life and her body, and saying what's maybe happening with her. And in this particular case, I want to recount what she had to deal with based off of Aunt Jemima memes and thoughts and characterizations. Lexi Carter visited her doctor, James Turner, and he's a white guy, for a July 11th appointment. This is several years ago. When he came into the examination room, he called her Aunt Jemima. He had a young girl, physician's assistant trainee, student with him, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hi, Aunt Jemima," is what Lexi Carter said, according to this source. Carter added that Turner unapologetically used the term to address her multiple times. Dr. Turner issued an apology saying, "Anything I said that tarnishes that image and my respect for her was a misspoken blunder on my part, and it was not intended to show disrespect for Ms. Carter," is what he said. Later, she was upset about this. I hope she stopped going to that particular doctor because he doesn't respect you. And in fact, he thinks calling you Aunt Jemima is just a nice term to say to my patients. You think he said it to his 22-year-old white woman patient? Do you think he called her Aunt Jemima? These types of things continue to happen. And Ben Stein, wanting to hearken back to it, it's just his way of saying, yo, we can't get too far from the way that I'm comfortable. I need to stay comfortable. So why Ron DeSantis is trying to make sure people don't know about the background for these types of things. And it's not taught because they continue to say, what's the big deal? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to tell you what reality is. Ben Stein went and put on a suit jacket to record a 30-second video of him pouring some Aunt Jemima damn syrup in order to continue to make people believe that that's the way we should go. It's that prevalent, it's that regular. So the pushback has to be just as prevalent and just as regular. That's why we keep talking about these things.